Temujin, it was a real long journey. Feeling hungry now.
Uh-huh.
He was a conqueror like no other, a man who reshaped the world, but at a brutal cost. His name still sends shivers down spines, and his legend is stained with the blood of millions. But was he born a tyrant, or did circumstances shape him into the ruthless leader he became?
Temujin was born in 1162 into a world of violence and betrayal. His early life was marked by hardship. At the age of 9, his father was poisoned by a rival clan. Soon after, his own family abandoned him and his mother, leaving them to fend for themselves in the harsh Mongolian wilderness. Temujin quickly learned that in a world ruled by force, mercy was a luxury he couldn't afford.
Betrayal became a constant in his life. Even his blood brother, Jamuka, would eventually turn against him. This betrayal forged a deep scar in Temujin's heart, teaching him a vital lesson. Trust was fleeting, and survival demanded ruthlessness.
As Temujin grew, he sought to unify the Mongol tribes, many of whom were constantly at war with one another. But his methods were brutal. Entire villages were slaughtered, armies crushed without mercy. To him, unity could only come through fear and domination. Those who resisted paid the ultimate price.
Yet to understand why he became a tyrant, we must look beyond the bloodshed. Temujin lived in a time where the strong devoured the weak. His world was a violent landscape where a leader either crushed his enemies or was crushed by them. But it wasn't just survival that drove Ukai, and for Genghis Khan, the cost was the very humanity he once possessed. As his power grew, so did his desire for absolute control. Once he became the Great Khan, uniting the Mongol tribes, and his thirst for conquest became insatiable.
If you haven't subscribed the channel, show us your love by subscribing to the History Hunt by simply clicking the subscribe button. Do press the bell icon to receive updates of our upcoming releases. Like or dislike the video, but do comment. Video resuming now.
His armies swept across Central Asia, the Middle East, and into Europe, leaving a trail of death and devastation. Entire civilizations crumbled under his rule. Historians estimate that over 40 million people died as a result of Genghis Khan's campaigns. His brutal methods instilled fear across the known world, and cities that resisted him were annihilated.
Genghis Khan's tyranny extended beyond the battlefield. His insatiable appetite for control manifested itself in his cult-like obsession with women. As he conquered new lands, he took thousands of women as concubines, creating a vast personal harem that symbolized his dominance. These women, often taken against their will, were trophies of his conquests. For Genghis Khan, women were both a symbol of power and a tool to expand his legacy. He fathered an estimated hundreds of children, ensuring that his bloodline would spread across his empire. His personal harem reflected his view of himself as not only a ruler of men, but a patriarch of nations.
His treatment of women was a reflection of the ruthless world he created. Women were commodities to be owned, traded, or gifted to loyal generals. Those who resisted were often met with the same brutality that he unleashed on the battlefield.
What drove this brutality? Was Genghis Khan merely a product of his violent times, or did the hardships of his youth breed a thirst for revenge? As a child, he had known only suffering, his father murdered, his family cast out, constantly hunted by enemies. By the time he rose to power, the world had taught him a cruel lesson. To survive, you must become more ruthless than your enemies.
Some argue that his cruelty was strategic, a tool to terrify his enemies into submission. But others see in him a man driven by vengeance, determined to destroy those who had wronged him. In his mind, the world was either a conqueror or the conquered, and he was determined to be the former.
Genghis Khan's empire was the largest the world had ever seen, stretching from China to Europe. His conquests reshaped the course of history, but at a terrible cost. The price of his ambition looms over history. To some, he is a hero, the father of Mongolia. To others, he is the embodiment of tyranny, a man who showed the world the true horrors of unchecked power. In the end, his legacy is a reminder that power often comes at a heavy price. And for Genghis Khan, the cost was the very humanity he once possessed.
And there you have it, the brutal, tyrannical tale of Genghis Khan. If you enjoyed watching history get a little intense, don't be shy. Smash that like button. After all, Genghis Khan didn't conquer half the world by hesitating, right? Got thoughts on how history shaped or crushed this notorious ruler? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear whether you'd survive in Genghis's empire, or if you'd rather stick with Netflix.
And of course, hit that subscribe button. Don't worry, we promise not to raid your village, but we will raid your feed with more epic history docs. See you in the next conquest. We've got more history waiting to be unraveled.